When you go overseas, people will pat you on the back and say, that's an incredible thing that a missionary would go and do. When you talk about moving across the tracks, people say, why would you do that? Why would you raise your kids in that community? Why would you be in that? We really struggled with this tension. We had been praying about where to go, what was next. We've been researching different communities. We wanted to start an urban ministry. I literally heard God say, Galveston is the place, in those exact 4 words.
It took kind of years for us to learn about the community here. There's such a vast difference between our neighborhood and the rest of Galveston.
When we first got here, Hurricane Ike had happened in 2008. We landed here in 2010, and so this island was very different. It was still being rebuilt. Churches were just getting back to meeting again. I remember one of the first prayer meetings I went to with some local pastors. The prayer was against hopelessness. We were 28, we were fired up, we were ready to, transform the whole community. We were ready to get after it. And the first pastoral meeting, I'm sitting here going, these guys don't even have any hope. To start with that and to be where we are today is really exciting to see how incredibly faithful God has been.
It's a very welcoming community now. I don't think we would have said that at the beginning. We were kind of the outsiders for such a long time, and now we're the insiders. And so when you're inside, you're loved and cared for.
We focus mainly on what we call the north of Broadway community. It was the highest concentration of poverty, chaos, crime, anything you see on the nightly news that you don't want to see was happening in our community. And so we moved into that neighborhood to be a part of the community, to be a part of the transformation. One of the things that we saw early on is the things that we did not like for our own children, we also hated for our neighbors' children. So we started with just children and youth programs. We went to the local park, did kind of like vacation Bible school, we called street camp, and just hung out with kids. We got to know them, we got to build relationships, share our favorite stories from the Bible, pray over them. Some of our kids just don't have the same starting line that many of us come from. And because of that, we wanted to help be a part of opening up those possibilities.
I didn't really have a dad figure in my life. I chased things I thought were my purpose, but Gum kind of steered me in the right path. Gum has taught me so many things, man. Gum has taught me just to what it takes to lead, as a man in Christ, my steps and situations and stuff like that. Gum has told me how to turn away from certain situations. Gum just taught me to be the better version of myself.
A huge part of ministry is showing up. You won't always have the right answers. You won't always know what to do. You don't know how you're going to respond. But if you're not there, you don't get that same opportunity to be in the mess with people sometimes. And so we always want to encourage people to show up and get in the mess, even when you don't know what the outcome is going to be.
We've also really just loved connecting the churches to our community. Empowering them to get out of the comfort zones and to meet someone new. Just because people look different than you doesn't mean you can't engage and have interactions with them in a loving and kind manner.
We realize for healthy discipleship is people need a safe place to practice. They need to be able to take what they've heard and they've learned from their incredible pastors and put it into practice. But oftentimes we don't know what to do with that. And so over the last 13 years, we've done our absolute best to create that space for people to come and do that. It's safe. We give guidance and training to allow people to really use the skills and the gifts that God has uniquely gifted them with and put them into practice. The last 5 years have been tough, but it's been probably some of the most fruitful things. Literally, even next week, we're getting ready for a baptism for several of our youth and children that came from those early days who have now made professions of faith.
It's kind of an honor to be able to see the fruit of so much labor. It's so easy to see the hardship and land in there, but when you get to see the beauty of one person follow Jesus, one person step out in faith and get baptized, all of the costs just fall away.